Hi, I'm Reverend Elizabeth Howell, and this is Psychic Sushi, and welcome back. I've been on hiatus for a little while, and we're starting back up again. I've got a lot of fantastic guests coming up in the future, but I have a fantastic guest today. This is Judy Nekvinda. She's the Medina Herb Lady, and she's my good luck charm because I had her on the first day when I first started Psychic Sushi way back 6 years ago. So we are, or 7, 6 or 5, I don't even know now. So there we go.
Oh, wow.
But now we're starting back up again, and I'm so grateful for the studio audience that you guys joined me in the past few years, and you watched the show, and you told your friends about the show, Psychic Sushi. And now I'm so grateful that I'm back on the air. So everybody, I want you to join in and watch. Share it with your friends. We're going to have the opportunity to catch it on BAT and as well as their website. So later in this month and into this year, please share. Please tell people to stop in. And if you have any ideas that you want me to cover, if there's something that you're interested in the metaphysical world, give me an email. Talk to me about it. I'll see if we can follow up with that. Right now I have lined up for the year. We're going to have a UFO expert who's going to come in, and he actually talks to UFOs, and he can call in UFOs over Lake Erie. He's been on the George Norrie show. He's been on national television. So we're going to be really excited to have him on. I'm going to have a ghost hunter come on, and she's going to share all her ghost hunting experiences. That would be Psychic Sonia. I'll have a few other psychics and mediums on and healers. So you're going to have to tune in because this is going to be a great year starting up. So I'm really excited. So once again, just wanted to go over right now. I'm starting to do my cosmic traffic report, and I really wanted to share that with everyone because I think the astrology has a lot to do with sometimes why people are acting funny or what's going on. And recently, just in the cosmic traffic report, which I put out, but starting on May 15th, the planet Uranus moved into the sign of Taurus. So what does that mean? The planet Uranus is the planet of freedom, expression. It's the planet of, kind of like it's unpredictable. It's the planet of, like innovation. And it deals with a lot of many things within, what we do. And even though it's an outside planet, it's it's a slower moving planet. So as it moved into the sign of Taurus, the constellation Taurus, this is the planet of awakening, and it now is going to, with this placement, is going to be more stabilizing for us. Because for 7 to 8 years, it was in the sign of Aries, and Aries, of course, is a fire sign, and that brought in a lot of the revolt. So when we saw a lot of the fiery things, people protesting, people angry, people burning things in the street, and that type of thing, that was Uranus in Aries. So now with the Uranus in Taurus, this will kind of bring in a more settling down energy, but it's definitely going to be affecting those who are Taurus, those who are Scorpio, those who are Leo, and those who are Aquarian. So it's definitely going to feel the effects of this planet. And basically, it's going to help us kind of deal more with now finances and banking and resources and nature and Mother Earth. So that's why I'm bringing Judy on today, because this Uranus and Taurus is about our natural resources. It is about our environment. It is about the earth. So not only does that Uranus and Taurus cover real estate, banking, money, where we put our money, and natural resources, oil, gas, other things, food, it covers agricultural. So usually with Uranus, it's going to be innovation. It's going to be exploration. Now, the last time Uranus was in the sign of Taurus was back in the year 1935 through 1942. Now, if you remember, if you look in your history books, take a close look at what was going on between 1935 and 1942.
I tried to look that up. There was a lot going on.
A lot went on.
Wow.
And usually with Uranus and Taurus, also we are going to be having a lot over the next 5 to 6 years, things to do with earth movements. Earthquakes, and we already have a volcano in Hawaii.
Right.
This is part of it. Earth movements are going on and earth awareness. So let's all kind of batten down the hatches, so to speak, and I always tell people it's time to take care of your backyard. So start with your backyard, fix up your backyard, be more conscious of the environment, be more conscious of what you're doing. You know, if you're doing excessive plastic use, you know, be more conscious, because this is going to be very important. Part of the innovations that are going to be taking place with Uranus and Taurus, I believe, will be some restructuring with the banking system, with the money systems around the world, as well as there's going to be territorial issues. So, and when we talk about territorial, it would be these unseen lines that lie between two countries. Now, back in between 1935 and 1942, there were a lot of little skirmishes: Japan against Russia, China and Japan, you know, Germany with other countries, and so forth and so forth. So it's about boundaries, okay? But when we also talk transpersonal, it's also about our boundaries. And we're going to be redefining our boundaries a little bit: what we can do, what we cannot do, what we allow in and what we do not allow in. So let's take a close look, though, in ourselves, all right? Because, you know, what we're going to feel is that there will be innovations with agriculture, innovations that'll be coming up with, I think, like with new forms of agriculture. I think things will come to light as far as pesticides, which we're going to talk about. Pesticides, our food. How is our food being impacted by pesticides, non-organic foods, GMOs, and other things that science wants to do, but science is too far ahead sometimes, or they have their head in the sand when it comes to
What do they say? It
health.
takes 7 years for an idea to evolve in our country.
Yeah.
It takes 7 years.
I think the innovations that are going to come in the next 6
They
years
have to start.
are going to be culture, you know, the backyard culturing, like growing food, indoor foods, the plant tiers, from food to table. And I think there's going to be a lot of innovation with that. So that's going to be coming up. So we want to be aware of these transits that are coming in. So I'm going to give you a little bit of that cosmic traffic report right there. And so thank you for tuning in. You can always go to my website, elizabethhowell.com, and you can check out my cosmic traffic report in full. So we're going to go ahead now and turn things over, because I love Judy. She is a phenomenal healer, wise woman. She is the Medina Herb Lady. And without her, I mean, she literally saved my life. And I had been, I had to take a break from taping, but I had some major health issues. And I went from the hospital to Judy's house and said, Judy, I need help. And she mixed up a concoction and said, drink this. And I was like, oh, okay. And it tasted like licking the bottom of a lake. But sure enough, within 48 hours, I was doing better. And a year or 6 months later, I ended up having major surgery. And the doctor even said, I've never seen this before. You had necrotic tissue and it re-healed, and amazing. How did you do that? And I said, I have a friend who's like a really good herbalist and she really knows what she's doing. And he said, well, whatever you do, don't stop. Don't stop doing that. So that's my testimony about Judy. She's phenomenal. But Judy's on today because we are going to talk a lot today. I mean, this is springtime.
Yep.
And there's a lot going on with people who are having allergies, people who are having, wanting to start gardening, but maybe wanting to be more conscious about what you're doing with the earth and your plants, because you're going to eat them, and instead of spraying, known toxins on your plants, like what can you do? And we're going to talk about that. So Judy, welcome again back to Psychic Sushi.
Starting again. Yes, we are. I'm going to go over some of the stuff that's on this table, and we're going to start off with a very basic weed killer that I have used now, and I just used it, and stuff is gone. So some of the stuff we're going to talk about today are definitely how our environment impacts our health, and we're also going to talk about better ways to take care of your skin. I've been traveling back and forth to Arizona and learning more and more how to take care of my skin, and some of the things are very basic. These things you have in your home, and especially the weed killer. I just want to say that, making sure that you know that a lot of our environmental allergies are are from pesticides and herbicides. And, you know, I used to do a lot of shopping, and I still do, any place that's organic. And if I found a bug in my food, I was happy because I knew that there wasn't a lot of pesticides or herbicides on that. So, you know, then the bug went down the drain, okay? Anyways, you know, there's a lot of things out there that we need to be more conscious of as we age and as we bring our young people into this world too. We have to teach them. We must teach them. It isn't stuff that you're just going to assume they're going to know. That's why, you know, tune into Brunswick area television. Learn, you know, learn what's going on. Anyhow, so let's start, okay? We're going to go over here to this table, and we're going to talk about a really basic weed killer. And these are things you have in your house. We don't want to mention a name, but there's your basic weed killer out there, that concentrated bottle. What is it? I haven't bought it in a while, so it was. I think
it's about $40.
About $40.
Yeah, for
$40
for
for
spray that you buy. You can buy it anywhere.
Right.
It's the weed killer.
Right.
And you buy it because you don't like those stupid weeds in your backyard and
see, you know what?
Your garden.
I love this time of year. You know why? Because my grass is yellow. It is full of dandelions. And I still have a horse, and I'll tell you what, you take a horse outside and he'll go right for those dandelions because he knows what dandelion is full of and what it'll do to springtime his body.
Oh yeah, dandelions are phenomenal. Well, not only are they considered, a very astringent, but they're cleansing and detoxing the body. Yes. Yeah, and the dandelion, and then you can also make dandelion wine.
Wine, yeah.
I like dandelion wine.
So look at this. You get yourself a bucket, and you get yourself some vinegar, 1 gallon. And I'm opening it up because there's something and then you pour your vinegar into the bucket. This is 1 gallon. And on most, like I brought also my, my container that I spray around my yard because I have an organic garden and it's taken me a long time. 1 gallon.
She has the best garden ever.
All right. I have my sign behind me. Then, this is the best product on the earth. Other than, the best vitamin on the earth is vitamin C, but this is the best product on the earth, okay? You soak in it, you bathe in it, you put it in your garden, you do all kinds of stuff. Anyways, 1 gallon to share this, tell people about it, especially if you're a cancer survivor. You don't want to be using chemicals out there, people. All right. So 2 cups of Epsom salt went into 1 gallon of vinegar. And this is what I want to show. And so then you put your hand in there and you mix the Epsom salts up. Would you do this if you had 1 gallon? Or how about if you mixed your what is it? I don't know. I remember you used to get the little red cups, 4 to 6 ounces of poison into a gallon or 2 gallons, 1 gallon of water.
Right.
Would you mix it up like this?
Oh no, I'd have gloves and a mask
and
eyewear because you can't get that stuff on your skin at all.
Yeah, but this is very, very important right here.
But that is natural.
Yes, if you don't want to put your hand in vinegar, but I'll tell you what, boy, it makes your cuticles nice and soft. You're getting a little hand. This is a hand therapy here. Anyways, you really mix that around so your little pebbles of the Epsom salts have all dissolved. And the last thing you do before you put it into your your sprayer, okay? We're just going to put this back here.
And they have those all over right now. You can get them at lots of grocery stores, not department stores, but little mini stores, the discount stores. You can find those now really super cheap,
Yeah. Here's what you do. before, I'm going to walk over here for a minute, so we get over here. So then you would pour this into your container that you're going to use, and then, I have to say it, Dawn, use Dawn dishwashing.
The blue.
The blue.
The blue.
1 cup, a 1/4 cup of Dawn dishwashing soap. Okay, so you would pour this into the sprayer, and then before you add any, you know, because that's a 2 gallon, so I'll make up 2 gallon. I make 1 gallon at a time. Then you pour this. Don't pour it into here. It's kind of like tried and true, because then you have a lot of foam and bubbles. Okay, if you do, it's not going to matter. You just pour it in there. But and then, oh well, now we're all vinegary. Well, this hand needs a little therapy too. So that's how easy it is. That's how easy it is. Now you want to spray this. Okay, you want to spray this. I'll just want to keep this up here, so in case you're trying to copy this not very hard recipe down. Okay. You want to spray this mid-morning, and you want to make sure it's a sunny day. Because like all organic or natural things, it needs a little boost from Mother Nature, which is the sunshine. So you don't want to spray it on, you don't want to spray it when there's a lot of dew or it's going to rain. Right now we're having a lot of rain. But if you spray it on a sunny day, I guarantee you by the time the day is end, and if it was sunny all day, you're going to spray this in the morning, and by afternoon, you're going to notice everything's wilting and turning yellow already. That's how fast it works. And another thing is, you know, you might have to do it a little more times than when you use a chemical. So
Yeah,
just
extra,
remember.
Yeah, a little bit extra.
A little, yeah. I'm
you
going to
know,
use this
once
because
or
my
twice.
yes.
Yeah, go ahead. You can use it. Louis, we won't tell you that she used it to wipe her hands.
To wipe my hands, but we've got that Odoo vinegar smell out here now.
Yes.
But again, let's go over a little more about why we would be using this. Okay. Number one, birds, worms, animals, anything, possums, squirrels, whatever. I have them all in my yard, and I don't want to see one of them with their little feet up in the air because they ate a blade of grass or they drank some water from an area or whatever in my yard because there were chemicals on there. And another thing is I have grandchildren and people visit, and I want to be able to walk in my grass with knowing that there's no chemical on there.
Yeah.
So,
and it leaks through the soil, and it doesn't break down like they say. The harsh chemicals don't break down. They go into our water system, they go into our groundwater, they go into our runoff, they go into our rivers, our streams, and eventually ends up in Lake Erie. And guess where most of us get our water from?
From
Lake Erie. And they say it breaks down, but it doesn't. They've been proving. These pesticides that people are using now in the United States are illegal in something like 47 other different countries. And in fact, I was in Japan, and I was in Japan for 2 weeks with my daughter, and the pesticides we use are outlawed in Japan, number one. Number two, GMOs are outlawed in Japan. Everything is supposed to be natural and organic.
Yeah.
And I ate for 2 weeks, I ate tons of food, and I actually lost weight in Japan, and I never felt better in my life.
Let's talk about GMOs. Genetically modified
organisms.
Genetically modified. It means that when we eat so much of that food, or when things go to reproduce, an apple, a potato, a tulip bulb, if they have been genetically modified, you are never going to get the same tulip, potato, or apple. And some of these things are now becoming non-existent. So
that's scary. Well, in the genetic modified system, and we also have to say what they do, the point of genetically modifying a tomato or corn or beans or rice or wheat is to place inside those genes a gene of around a certain pesticide. And they put that certain pesticide inside the genes to make that corn or those beans or those rice or that wheat resistant, so that when you spray that pesticide
Oh yeah.
It doesn't kill the wheat, but it'll kill the weeds around it. Well, what they've determined over the past 7 to 8 years is that now they have to spray twice or 3 times as many pesticides on the field, because not only have the wheat or the beans or the rice have become resistant, but so have the weeds. So now it's kind of been a very bad situation. So they now, and you can watch other TV shows and they talk about this, but now they have found that pesticides use have gone up, skyrocketed 3, 4 times now, compared to what it was 10 or 15 years ago. So they say, oh, and it still breaks down before it hits the table, which has been proven scientifically that it doesn't.
Look at our rise. Look at our rise in cancer. Look at our rise in female cancers. Okay.
Oh, absolutely.
And later in the show, we're going to actually tell you about a place and a company we discovered that they call is clean. You want to know about things that are now clean for yourself.
Yeah, clean is the key
Clean
word.
is clean.
Yeah.
Yes. All right. I just want to go back to.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah.
Yeah.
Go back to your.
Yeah, give me. I'm the star of the show here today. Anyways, environmental allergies, burning hands and feet, low immune system, low energy, itching, asthma rashes, and many other kind of things like that. Rashes, just so tired. You can't believe that you're so tired. And if you ever want to know of stuff to help that, we're talking things like green products that are plant-based. We're talking MSM. We're talking you have to clean your bowel. You have to detox. Just like this stuff is on our food, it gets into us. And if you don't detox or you get some of this out of your tissues, they will build up. Other things are like colloidal silver. If you want to know,
colloidal silver.
Love colloidal silver. And also your basic vitamin and mineral vitamin that has, something that's kind of super, super put together. Citrobioflavonoids. I'm also thinking bee pollen. Best to get your bee pollen from your area if you can. Another thing is milk thistle. Something I have gone back to, and I've done it for a really long time, and I kind of got out of the practice of it. Such another simple thing. Half a lemon, squeeze it, and put it in some warm, purified water every morning, first thing. I am back to that. What it does is it actually detoxes your liver and gives it a jump start for the day.
Yep.
Such a basic thing. Again, a half a squeezed lemon in some water, purified water, and boom. These things will help with some of your common allergies throughout the spring and summer. And also, here's some other, it is a combination I love, and it's ALJ from a company called Nature Sunshine.
Yep, ALJ, it has in it.
It has in it bonus set. It has in it fennel and fennel seeds and fenugreek. This is
fenugreek. I love it for lungs.
For lungs, this fenugreek and thyme.
Yeah.
If you have any type of breathing problem anytime, fenugreek and thyme, and then horseradish root and mullein. Mullein grows. Do you know where mullein grows? Grows by railroad tracks. Now, what do they put creosote on the railroad things to keep them from degrading or whatever. Mullein grows there, and it's a beautiful, low-growing, furry plant, big leaves, and throws up a big stalk, and it's beautiful. And I actually get it and put it in my yard. So, but these are all things that help your lungs, because your lungs are cleaning, because you're breathing in allergens.
Yeah, especially if you're having allergy season. They said this is going to be the worst allergy season in a long time.
Yeah.
Because we were cold for so long, and then bam, we're going straight to heat. And all the trees, I noticed, like my apple trees, my pear trees, barely bloomed. They just bloomed and then they were done.
Done. Yeah, we had called a burst bloom, and now we're just going to have pollen.
Now we're just going to have pollen. And I am the queen of pollen. I have grass allergies and pollen allergies and molds and yeast and dust and all that. So I love the fenugreek and thyme, to keep my lungs clear.
Yeah.
I always can feel a difference.
Thyme. You can get thyme in oil.
In oil, in
I
a
grow it in
tea.
my garden. You can cook with it. You can do a tea.
then
Thyme
the-
is antifungal, antimicrobial.
Right, antifungal, and the drops you can get it
Yes.
in. You can get it in
Tincture.
like tinctures, which are just basically drops, and you can put those drops into water and just drink it like a shot if you want. I don't like to put it directly on my tongue because
it is very. You could what they call. I don't know if it was one of the type of oils that I would use called neat. Here's what I do. I get a good essential oil of thyme, and I keep it in my shower. And the first part of my shower, of course, will be with warm water, and I just sprinkle it. I just literally sprinkle it on the walls all around. And as that warm water hits, it vaporizes. And then it goes out into my bathroom, and when I open up the door, it goes out into my bedroom. And my animals are there, and my husband is there. Maybe I should have said husband first. Okay, yeah. Well, you know what I love in my house.
Her fur babies first.
And it's like I said, it cleans the air, it helps your lungs, and then when I take the other part of my shower, which is cold part, it kind of sets it. So remember, you can diffuse. Diffusers are big. Everybody's got them.
Yeah, everybody's into that.
Everybody's into diffusers. I even just bought a travel diffuser. And I love it. It's very small, and it'll run just for one night. But one of the basic things, if I have to go into a hotel or a place I'm not used to, I will diffuse with thyme. Simple, very simple. Thyme, and I also bring my lavender, which we're going to bring up next. So
yeah, and again, so simple to do. How hard is it to make this weed killer? And just try it, and just for just to experiment.
Yeah.
And think about your animals, rolling in your grass. These people that have to have these perfect lawns, no weeds and green.
Yes.
Why do you think Lake Erie turns into one massive algae bloom?
Yes.
It's not the farmers, okay? It's everybody who wants to have a super green lawn. And
who are those people? Let's talk. Who are those people? Because you need to rethink. You need to rethink your backyard, your front yard. I want to enlighten those people. You are a product of our commercialism, and you need to rethink. I was going to say, it's my generation that wanted to have beautiful lawns. They want to have everything picture perfect, and I'll tell you what. Well, I never did, but I do see those type of people evolving, because really the people younger than us, first of all, they're not the ones. I don't see young people buying these chemicals. I see the older generation, and we're the generation that are passing everything down.
Yeah.
So teach your younger people. Well, I do. I have a new set of young people on the one side of me, and I love them. They don't even. I mean, they let everything grow. They let everything grow. And he goes, I like this. He said, it doesn't matter whether I have a bunch of gathering of different trees and bushes over here. He said, they're excited. They found an apple tree in their yard. Oh, I want to make this better.
Yeah, it's time. It's time. And if
our Earth is healing.
With Uranus in transit, if we don't step forward, if we don't put a stop. Think about in Native American tradition, we talk about the seventh generation, and I'm going to bring that up because we do not think about that, do we? We think about instant gratification. We think about instant everything,
Yes.
But
that's the generation that's coming. The more the generation, or what they're calling, is instant gratification. And I'm going to tell you, we're still pretty young, okay? I want to tell you that that doesn't happen. I'm just going to tell you. I don't care what you want, from an herbicide to a home to a yard to children, whatever. Instant gratification is something in your head. It doesn't happen.
I would agree.
Okay.
And when you think and sit back, and again, in Native American tradition, humans used to go into a lodge and they would sit and talk for days about and something that would, then how would it impact the seventh generation? How would it impact our children's children's children? What we're going to do right now, what we're doing right now. It's like if we're going to carve out this mountain, or we're going to change this waterway, or we're going to do something.
Yes.
They talked about it. How is this going to impact everything around us?
Yes.
Because we are all interconnected. So what we do, though, in our backyard is what we are capable of at least addressing. So taking care of our health and taking care of the health of our yards and our ecosystem around us. And then the next step is, of course, we know herbs work. Now, we're not saying don't go to the doctor. We're not saying that you shouldn't go to a physician or anything like that, because physicians are wonderful people and they have great ideas.
Yeah,
and great medication.
we don't live in a world anymore where we can we have to mix. We have to mix Western medicine with Eastern medicine. But you need to learn about something before you put it in your body or in your mouth from Western. Eastern is just a learned technique, And, I think that's how we really cemented our relationship, is as I taught an herbalist class to actually certify people in the area as herbalists.
And I got certified.
Yes, she did. She passed the test, let me tell you.
I actually did.
You did. I didn't even have to help her. But anyways, Skin. Anyways, let's get on here, because we actually have a time clock today at Bat TV. Anyhow, let's go to skin. Now, I want to tell you about an oil that no one should ever be without. And I want to tell you that there are so many different varieties of lavender that you need to know the company of where you're getting it from, and you need to know that it is a true 100% oil. There are so many wonderful, wonderful companies out there that are selling oils. They are good, but I love Nature Sunshine. I love Nature Sunshine. They are 100% pure people and oils and products. I've been with them for over 30 years. And they're the ones that taught me how to use these things. And one of the things that I really want to talk to you about today is lavender oil. Very basic oil. You can use it what they call neat, which means you can put it directly on your skin. You can put it directly on, you would put it on, if you want to calm an animal down, dog specifically, a cat, you must let the cat smell it first. I would dilute it if you put it on a cat, but you'd have to call me if you're going to use it there. But you can use it neat, which means you can put it directly on your skin without any trouble.
No burning.
No burning. Well, no burning. And this is the story of lavender and how I remember it. I was at a class in Chicago with a woman from France, and she had talked about a chemist, I don't know his name, and in his long time ago, he had a vat, because if this was out of the bottle, this would be a vat of pure lavender. It looks like water. And he had a bunch of Bunsen burners around, and he backed up into one, and he burned his elbow. And he thought, oh, there's a vat of water. And then he got closer, and he's like, oh, that's not water. That's a vat of lavender oil, or lavender. And I just love getting into things today. So, almost fell. Anyhow, he then realized that the burning sensation from his elbow disappeared. And he noticed that it also felt a whole lot better right away. So what I want to tell you is, if you are working in the garden or swimming in the pool, or your children are, what you want to do is, if you get out and you notice you have a sunburn, you want to use lavender oil right away.
Oh.
Right. It's like aloe.
Aloe.
Okay? It's like aloe. You want to use this right away.
Okay.
Because they will start the healing properties of the skin and get them going right away. And then you can use any type of other rehabilitation for your skin. But lavender and aloe are your best defenses for sun burn or any type of burn. I was using my rototiller, and I was rototilling, and I hit a big patch in the ground of yellow jackets in my garden towards the side. And in my effort to get the rototiller away from me and get away from the bees, I went into the carburetor of the whatever happened. I went forward instead of going backwards, and I burned myself from here to here. And I went inside, and right away I grabbed my lavender and I just started pouring it all over that. And I'm a nurse, and I was just like, should I go to the hospital? Should I go to the hospital? You know, everybody's like, you better go to the hospital. Look at that. And I'm like, I'm going to give this a little more, put a little more onto it. And within 24 hours, I knew I wasn't going to go to the hospital. But if you think you need to go to the hospital, you go to the hospital. We don't ever want to say anything that, you know, but I know I can trust in it. Anyhow, so that's about lavender. Another thing we want to talk about is some other things you can do which are really, really basic, okay? Things, again, I want to show you things, again, you have in your house. Olive oil. We're going to pour a little bit of that in here. And get yourself some vitamin C ascorbate.
Which means?
It's in a powder form.
In a powder form.
Okay?
Okay.
And yeah, what you want to do is you mix a little bit of the oil and the ascorbate in there, and I could, and you would make it up like a paste.
Okay.
Okay, because vitamin C is.
You can show it to the camera.
Yeah. So you make like a little bit of a paste. Kind of looks like mustard there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. And you can just take that and apply it like that, like a skin scrub or whatever. And you could do it all over your body, and you could even put some lavender in there, and that will start also a healing process.
Oh.
You know, if you don't like the smell of lavender, I don't know anybody who doesn't like the smell of lavender.
Lavender.
But that's just another form of
olive oil is really wonderful too.
Oh, olive oil.
Now
You can use. There's other carrier
vinegar
oils.
and olive oil. Now I want to have a salad. So yummy.
But also we want to talk about too is what scientific discoveries have evolved for our skin. We want to talk to you about things like hyaluronic acid, collagen. These are the things that are coming into the forefront that scientists have brought about. Mm-hmm. And I'm going to kind of turn that over to you. But I want to tell you, I have been drinking this stuff for 3 years.
Yeah.
I have been drinking this stuff for 3 years, and I got it to drink because of my joints. And I'm having the side effect of better skin. And with using natural products and getting away from herbicides and pesticides, this is another step that is involved in both of our lives.
Yeah.
And
absolutely.
We were introduced to a wonderful, wonderful woman, and she put together a product. And I'm saying here in Ohio, even though we have sun for such a short period of time, but I want to tell you that any type of sun is damaging us because we don't have the covering around the earth that we have had before.
No, I would agree.
So again, this is from this clean company, and you have to start thinking about bringing products into your home, no matter where you live, that are cleaner and natural.
Yeah, because there's so many products like shampoo, soap, dish soap, laundry soap that have in them cancerous, known carcinogenics. And when you look at the back of a shampoo bottle and you start reading, you can see all of a sudden some of these words and you're like, what is this? What's
one word we would never, I will never use in a product?
What?
Parabens.
Parabens. There we go.
Yeah.
That's supposed to be a wax, but it's actually
a preservative. Because when you open something, they want to make sure it has a shelf life. So, and now the chemicals or whatever's in the bottle, they have to like methylparaben and different. Oh yeah. So I'll never use a product that has any type of parabens on it.
Yeah. And on top of it, we even know that, children, just children in general, you start, your skin is your biggest organ you have. So soaps and shampoos and your laundry soaps, they've now proven that the laundry dryer sheets are actually release a lot of toxins into your house. Yeah. And it's like, well, what can you do to not do that? And I looked up, and believe it or not, you take you take aluminum foil, you ball it up, and you throw it in with your clothes, and your clothes will dry non-static and soft, and you don't have to use a dryer sheet.
I actually got some what they call dryer balls. Okay.
Okay, dryer balls.
Yeah, they're like a plastic ball with a bunch of bumps on them, and it's always fun to find out what clothes. And
I've had to learn. I had to learn. My husband has COPD from working at Ford Motor Company. He never smoked. But by working in a dusty, dirty, high chemical environment, that he developed COPD. And so burning a candle or putting dryer sheets in my dryer or doing things like that would actually affect his breathing. Yeah. So that's when I became very aware of like, what are we putting in the air, even in our homes? So our cleaning products, if you can clean, you have right here an herb formula. I mean, it's a formula for weed killer, but between Vinegar Dawn and
Epsom
salt or just vinegar and Dawn, you can do a lot of cleaning. You can clean products and not have to use
vinegar in your toilets.
And vinegar in your toilets. So there's a lot of things you can do. And, you want to be aware of those. Now, we were introduced to the same company, and I'm really grateful for this company because I started it because I got to the point, the reason I stopped doing the show was I had no energy, I was ill, and I couldn't get to the bottom of what was going on with me, and I kept thinking I was absolutely losing my mind. I have an autoimmune disease. I won't go into details, but it was a type of disease that breaks down your joints, breaks down your bones, your ligaments, your tendons, and causes scar tissues and abdominal. And I had major, what they call abdominal adhesions, and because lots and lots of scar tissue, my body would just build up this scar tissue and making it really impossible. I had to stop working out, which, believe it or not, yes, I did. I worked out. Okay, I actually walked. I used to walk like 3 miles a day. But I got to the point where I couldn't. Even getting out of bed was difficult. Moving was difficult. And that's why I love the liquid collagen. This liquid collagen product basically turned my life around. I can
Mine
move,
too.
I can lift, and I get out of bed without pain, without discomfort. I can get out of bed. And I am back to walking. And hopefully over the next year you will see the results of that. But I feel healthier than I've ever felt. And I had a CAT scan done in December, and they said the scar tissue abdominal adhesions are gone. And I had a scope done in February, thinking that there was still a problem. And when I was scoped, the doctor said, "You look better than you have looked compared to our photos from 3 years ago to this. There is a phenomenal change in you. Don't stop."
Because of the nutrients and the combinations of what we're drinking is doing wonderful things in our body, and I just can't tell you enough what it's like to get out of bed and walk, or I don't know how many times somebody will say to me, you're 60. And I'll be like, yeah, but I'm still rototilling and I'm still gardening,
and why not?
And I want to, I want to exercise every day.
Well, you're on your feet.
Work keeps getting in the way, you know?
She's like a nurse. She works all this time.
You know?
Well, for me, you know, this product on top of it, it's the only bioavailable liquid collagen. It's lowest molecular weight. It is from an organic, all-natural source, GMO-free.
Yeah.
It's from certain parts of the breastbone of a chicken, the tips and then the little part in the sternum of the breastbone of chickens. These chickens are raised in New Zealand organically, and they only use a small portion of that breastbone. So they know this process is patented. It's got 9 patents worldwide. You're not going to find this product anywhere else.
Right.
And it's not like bone broth. It's not like taking powdered collagen. It's just, that's comparing apples to oranges. This is, you know, there are companies that offer, you know, powdered collagen, but it's too heavy. And it depends on the source. It can be a fish source. It can be a beef source of collagen. And because that the body recognizes this collagen as its own, and your body absorbs it through the bloodstream because it's such a low molecular weight at 0.004, it absorbs directly in your body. And so that's the difference. You're not just absorbing it, eating it, or whatever. It's going straight in. And it took me, and I'm on my 3rd year. I'm on my 3rd year, and I'm like, you know what? Yeah. it's phenomenal. So there are other things. Like I did a lot of anti-inflammatories. I was taking turmeric, devil's claw, astragalus. I was taking
all good anti-inflammatories.
I was taking glucosamine. I was taking all that stuff. I was taking at least in a day. I was taking at least 20 different supplements to help me maintain and get up and move. I'm now down to 5.
Okay.
I don't have to take that many anymore. I'm down to 5, and I'm really excited about that. And I feel,
well, I'd rather be doing this than a pharmaceutical. Okay. And I'm so glad that I'm this age and I have not had to take any pharmaceuticals.
And you don't have to have knee replacements yet?
No knee replacement, no shoulder replacement. I have to be careful. Yeah, I have to be careful because you know, if I really overexert it. But that's somebody I think we should. I have a wonderful woman that works on my body, and she just took a tuning fork class.
Oh yeah.
And I'm telling you.
And we will have a tuning fork person come on, actually, because I know several tuning fork people.
All right.
And tuning forks had to be a whole different thing because sound.
Yes.
And also, I don't remember Diane, who did the body scan, the aura photography.
Yes.
You put your hands on the thing. You did that, right?
Yes.
Diane Stahl caught my health issue 6 months before it took place. On that reading they did here in this studio, 6 months later, bam. And now she does it. Now that bioscan will also tell you what tones that realign your body and heal it.
Okay.
Amazing stuff. We're going to cover it. And Judy gets a lot of stuff done. She goes with a lot of different things. So she should come back on and help me out with some of this.
Well, going back and forth to Arizona, my younger daughter there is a nurse, and she's been down there for 7 years. And it's sunny. But I'm telling you, the botanical center and the Indian people we are just so involved with, there's just still a lot of healing and wonderful gifted people like here too. Just you have to realize that the universe gives us wonderful gifts, and you have to start realizing them. You have to start looking at them. And I think the older I get, every day it's a new experience and a new opening.
Absolutely.
And I don't know what I would do without this one who reminds me about, get your mind open and keep it open and be aware of some of the discoveries. And I will say that the product that we are both drinking, I have to budget for. And I don't mind budgeting it. And my husband and I have decided that this will be something that we will continue in our lives because it is something we need. And it makes our lives nice. It makes our lives healthier.
Well, yeah, absolutely.
You know?
I agree with you on that. And You know, and like you said, you both your husband and you take the product. I mean, a lot of people take the product, but we can't talk about the product.
And my sister's dog and her husband.
We can't talk about the product.
Yeah.
We can't say what it is. But what I can tell you is, Judy, tell people how they can get hold of you. We'll put it up on later at the end of the show, but tell people how they can get hold of you.
What do you mean, website or?
Website and put your phone, whatever.
Oh, how about my website? Talk to me on my website, which is LP Nekvinda. I'll spell it NEKVINDA @gmail.com. It's for LP is for licensed practice nurse, and then my last name begins with an N, so that's what it happens. So that's at gmail.com. It'd be LP Nekvinda. If you want to zip something in there, or and as Elizabeth will tell you, give us 24 hours. Okay, there's that instant gratification thing again. I
agree.
Yeah, but I'll be happy to go over with you or whatever, or
and
talk
Judy,
to you.
You're on Facebook.
Yeah, I'm on Facebook. I did it.
You're on Facebook. I had to put the cattle prod to her, but she is on Facebook. So you can go to Facebook and look her up, Judy Nekvinda, and you'll be able to find her on Facebook. You can friend her because she does offer information sometimes.
And tell me that you saw me on Bat TV, and I'll be your friend right away. But you got to mention Bat TV, okay?
And she's a huge source of information, a well of herbal information, holistic information, and we're going to have her back on again, because this again is the lady who I tribute the reason I'm still breathing today. Ooh. I'm still walking and breathing, as I have indebtedness to her.
Do I have like a glow around me now?
Life indebtedness to her.
333. That's one of my favorite numbers.
Absolutely. And so for me, how to get hold of me,
yes.
I have a website, elizabethhowell.com. And I also have Facebook, which would be Elizabeth Howell. I have 2 pages. I have my business. Actually, I have 3 pages. I have Psychic Sushi, which is a Facebook page. I have Elizabeth Howell and Psychic Fairs, and that's a like page. It's a business page, so you can like me. You don't have to follow, or you can like me and follow. And then I do have my personal page, which would be Elizabeth Howell, and that would be and you can tell the difference, I think, between that page and my other page. You can get hold of me on Facebook. You can like me, friend me. I think I do have Instagram and Twitter. I can't remember what those are. So wow, maybe I can post them later.
I want to try Instagram.
I signed up, but I can't remember what it was. But
is that another code name?
Yeah, you got to have a whole nother thing.
Oh my God.
But I do.
Just got used to Facebook.
Yeah, right. On Facebook, I update everything I'm doing, and I update it when I'm taping.
Oh,
so
yeah.
if you like the Psychic Sushi, go to that Facebook page, and we update when we're taping. Right now, we're not doing studio audience anymore, but we are going to invite people in to get some psychic readings when we have mediums on who want to participate. So again, liking the Psychic Sushi page will be very important so that you can get information when we're taping, what we're doing. And what upcoming, people we're going to be having on the show. So definitely, Facebook me and go to my website. You can click on that. Again, elizabethhowell.com. I am out and about here in Brunswick. I am all over. You can catch me at different locations. I'm not that far away, and I'm so grateful to Brunswick and to yes. Brunswick Area Television for letting me come back on, and the guys here who are fantastic.
Yes, I love them.
And this is the best place ever, and I love Brunswick, so I'm so grateful to be back with my audience. And again, I want everyone to just reach out and again, give me some feedback. I positive feedback, okay? Just it's been a rough few years, okay? So like that positive feedback.
Yes.
And again, tune in because we have some phenomenal guests coming up. And again, I want to thank Judy Nekvinda again, Medina Herb Lady. Thank you so much for coming on and sharing these wonderful
I'll put a goop
products.
on. Oh yeah, you can put any goop, Don't forget about the weed killer. Do it. Save a bird, a worm.
Absolutely. If you have any questions, you can get hold of Judy. And you can also get hold of me, and we're more than willing to talk to you and help you out. And we want everyone to enjoy this summer and be safe and be careful and not be too worried about...
Take care of your skin.
Take care of your skin and not to be too worried about Uranus and in Taurus at this point. We will talk more about it on the next show. I'll do more of the Cosmic Traffic Report, but if you'd like to catch the Cosmic Traffic Report, it is posted on my website too. So again, we want to thank everyone, and we want to thank you for tuning in, and tell your friends about Psychic Sushi.